So before we take the cartridges out, to stitch it and to add some fasteners here, I'm just going to flip it over. I'm just going to hit the back with a burnishing tool. Okay. Just to, make sure that we got full contact. Alright, so to stay with the theme, the yellow boy, just got a brass receiver. We're going to go with brass fasteners. Look at this. We're not going to cheap out. We're not gonna go. I shouldn't say cheap out, because it's not necessarily cheap. It's just a different way of doing it. We're not gonna go with just your basic fasteners. We're gonna take this to a much higher level. Solid, made in the USA, brass fasteners. All right. Put the baggie aside. We got the four that we need. We've got two female and 2 male. So we're gonna grab a measurement thickness using our handy dandy gauge. We call it a caliper. So calipers were on your car. There's that. Alright, so basically the width here is about 0.31. Alright, but we want to pull it in. So if we pull it in, we'll get to about 25. That's what we want to do. 1/4 of an inch. So the total length, the overall length, these two pieces together, needs to be 1/4 of an inch. So let's take a look and see what we got here. Alright, this piece is 43, so it's got to be smaller than that. Alright, so we're going to shave the male side down first, and then we'll match it up with the female side. Alright, so this needs to be 0.25, so right to there. So we'll call it, doesn't have to be exact, it could be a skosh longer or shorter. I'm going to just go by eye here, using a lineman's plier. We just came back from the belt sander, and you can see we alright, here we are. Get a final measurement on that. 2.7. Perfect. Alright. Alright, so basically what we're going to do now is just taper these. Alright, get you over here at the belt sander. We're just going to clean up, like I said, just taper this a little bit, like it was from the factory. Well, I hope you enjoyed our travels. Alright, so we've got our parts here. Let me just sweep this area here real quick. Not liking all this dust. Okay. Alright, so we have our components. Our modified components, okay. Sort of a brass rivet. You know what? Before I put this in, I'm just gonna clean up this edge. I'm not saying it's burred, but I like stuff that's smooth. Yeah, I'm gonna clean that up. Be right back. I've got that male end of the brass fastener rivet. Okay, I've got a piece of 400 here. Just want to round over this edge. Now what's cool about these rivets is they are the same diameter, where they fit right into the Dremel light tool. Okay, so make for real easy work. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, got our backing piece put behind the rivet. Alright, so we've got the custom-made brass fasteners, rivets, stays, whatever you want to call them. See the back. Got them in place. Now what we have to do to finish up this piece is to stitch. And we're going to stitch this. We're going to stitch. We're going for 100 years. 100 years plus on this as far as usability. The client out in Kentucky is going to be able to pass this down to his great grandchildren. Great grandchildren. Five generations? Yeah, about 100 years. Okay, so again, going back to our punch tool, we are going to punch. Use this punch to create. Okay, here you go. So we got our holes punched. Be able to stitch this with muslin. This will literally, between everything, never come off. Okay, so we got our thread, stitching needle, and we're going to go ahead and finish this up. No doubt that hand stitching is very time consuming, but honestly there's really no way to get quality results like we do without stitching by hand. You know, so very time consuming, but it comes out really nice. we are just going to hit that with a little bit more Bic more. This is Bic 4 leather conditioner. It conditions, cleans, polishes, and protects. Okay, so I mean, what's better than that? Alright, so we're going to hit it a little bit, rub that in. Can never use too much Bics or Bickford. Bickford, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Call it whatever you want to call it. I call it Bics. Okay, I'm going to hit the loops a little bit, hit in between the loops. You always want to condition your leather. You want to use a good quality product like Bickmore. It's the one with the horse on it. Easy to remember. Will not darken leather, finish leather. That's important too. You want to use a neutral color, unless you want to darken it. I don't know, maybe you want to darken it. Alright, so that's that. Alright, so see how she looks with the cartridges in there. Okay. Should I burnish the edges? I think I will. Burnishing's simple. Just hit it with a little bit of beeswax. This is quality, 100% American bees. Alright, this here. Hang on a second. This is Beeswax, yellow beeswax bars. Natural, earth-friendly, healthy. You know, like I said, USA, Chesterfield, Missouri. Good stuff. This is what we use exclusively on our leather products. No, we're not getting paid by them to say that. I'm just telling you like it is. Here's a brand new bar. These bars last a long time. This is probably like, I don't know, 6 months old, this one. No, let's use a new bar. So anyway, you just hit the edges, little beeswax. Okay, like so. Really can't use too much, so don't worry about that. Just hit the edges like so. You know, I'm not going to burn the edges. Don't think that's necessary. I'm just going to burnish them. Okay, so we're just going to hit the edges. Okay. I don't know if I did this side. I can't remember now. I think I did. We just hit the edges a little bit like that. Okay. Burnishing is basically applying some heat to the edge. Okay, so here's a burnishing tool. You get different thicknesses of leather, so you get different grooves here, if you will. Okay, so this is about right. This one. So you just rub this on there like so. You can see that it's actually darkening the edge a little bit. It's called burnishing. Basically, you're taking the heat from the friction. You're melting the beeswax, and at the same time, you're bringing up the natural oils in the leather. Okay, so I mean, you can burnish this until the cows come home. You know, I don't think you can over burnish this. It just depends on how dark you want the leather. You know, do you want the edge really dark? You know, like you'll see on some holsters. I'll give you an idea. Let me get, well, this little tool case, I burnished the edge really hard, you could say. You know, it's like the two pieces look like one. That's how much is burnished. But this is dark leather. I don't want to burnish this leather too much because it's light. I don't want to, you know, if the owner of this product wants to darken the edges a little bit more, they can, just by hitting it with a little beeswax, like I said. Yeah, hang on a second, I'll show you an example. Here's a piece of leather, I'll show you an example. Okay, different types of leathers burnish differently, they darken at different rates, and so on and so forth. It depends on what type of leather it is. But anyway, here's a piece of leather, I'll give you an idea of how this works. So right down the center, okay? And to burnish it, you just use any type of burnishing tool. You could use wood, you could use a scrap piece of leather and rub it on there. It depends on what you're going for, I'm just going to use this piece of wood, and you just rub it. You see that starting to darken. Look at that. It's starting to darken because the raised pieces of my mat underneath. See that? You can speed up the process as well by hitting it with a heat gun. This will make it go real fast. That's not burning it, it's burnishing it. And you can see how quickly a lot of people, if they want to, like antique, so-called antique an item, will burnish it like this, Here's a perfect example too. Here's a piece of leather on here. So if you're working on an edge, you want to make it look like it's old or aged. Rub the beeswax on there, hit it with the burnishing stick. You can even hit it with some heat. And look at that, instantly it looks, 100 years old. Okay, so we're at the point now that we need to make the lace for this. Okay, the lace we want to match with the theme, with the color theme. Alright, so we don't buy lace, we make our own lace, okay? Especially since, we always do projects like this where it's one-off stuff. You're not going to be able to match a piece of lace to this. Especially, maybe the color, maybe, you'll get close, shade, but you'll never get the texture or the grain the same. Alright, so we always use, when we make lace, we always use the same piece, okay? So making lace is simple, very simple. We have a lace cutter. It's a basic tool, you just run it along the edge here, and it cuts a piece of lace. But we never use it, because you know what, honestly, by the time I end up finding it, oh, what do you mean finding it? It's right here. Look at that, it's right in my kit, my leather kit. See what I'm talking about? But I never even hardly ever take it out of there, because I like to, whenever possible, cut, by eye. And I've done so many of them that, I never had any issues. But anyway, what I want to tell you about lace is that generally speaking, you need double the amount of length as the piece that you're working on. Okay, so think about this as 7 inches. This is 7. So that's 14. Double that, so 28. So you're going to want to have 28 inches of lace. Okay, all right, to make sure that you have enough. All right, you never want to, if you're cutting your own lace, run short. If you run short, what I'm going to do with this lace, this small piece, I have to wait until the project comes up. It might be, 5 years from now. But anyway, so you're better off having 35 inches instead of having, 27 inches, where you're an inch short, and then you're pulling your hair out if you have any. Anyway, here we go. We got this. Let's just check the measurements on this. This is 7, 14, 28. All right. With these type of rigs, I like to have a little. Hang on a second. These type of rigs, I like to have a little extra lace. Okay? So if the owner wants to get creative, and have something that's real cool, like my carbine, my Winchester carbine, model 94. Got a cheek riser on this one. Cheek rest, I should say. Anyway, so have a little extra material. Maybe you want to wrap it, like I did here. I don't know. I think this looks cool. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. See what that looks like. Oh yeah. That's good stuff right there. Imagine that. Imagine that on there. Wow, that's hot. Alright, so yeah, I got this because this is, I only put 4 rounds on this because, yeah, I don't know. That's what I decided to put on that one. Anyway, so my point is with the lace, I'm going to add some additional. So when I ship this out to my friend in Kentucky, he can decide whether he wants to just, tie it together down here without wrapping it, or maybe he doesn't even want this. I don't know. I think it looks good, but he could do whatever he wants to do. It's not my rifle. Alright, so I'm going to leave extra. So this is like an extra, 10 inches here, and then an extra, say, 3 times 4, 12, 10, 12. Figure another 2 feet. Alright, so I'm really going to do double the lace for this project. Alright, so with that said, we have the piece that we're going to make the lace out of. 12, just to make sure he's got enough. We're going to give him 4 feet. Should be way more than enough. So we're going to go 4 feet on that. Okay, so now when you start getting towards the end, to continue this, you're going to obviously go on a curve, okay? You're going to round the corner and continue. And you're going to end up cutting off some of this excess thickness here later. Alright, so got our piece now. We'll just clean up the corners so we made the turns. Lace is we just bunch it up in a ball. We take some Bickford. You can use any type of leather conditioner. Basically just massage that in, squeeze it in like a ball, like that, okay? And then we basically got some lace here. Alright, so alright, you can see here that we got a beautiful piece of lace. I'd say it's about definitely at least 4 feet long. So here we got four runs here. You see here 2 loops, 4 runs. Make that obvious. One piece, okay. This is a yardstick, so it's longer than a yardstick, so probably about 4.5 feet. Alrighty, so there you go. There you have it. Okay, with the rifle butt, the buttstock cover. With the buttstock cover, we have also included a extra piece of lace. So if the owner wants to embellish the loop, okay, the saddle ring loop on his 66 or other Winchester rifle, he can certainly do that. Okay, so we've included a match to the other lace and all the other leather that we utilize. Also included a lever action wrap in a matching color as well, okay, or in the the same leather. So we've included that kit as well. Okay, so that's a complete kit. And so you can see we have that on our 66. Okay, just a lighter shade. I'm sure with a match set, everything matching, it's going to look absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible, I'm sure. Alright, so there you have it. Alright. The only thing left to do with this is to test fit it. Okay, so here we are, we're test fitting this on our 66. Alright. I don't know what the owner's going to want to do, but let's just wrap it once. It's up to them. Wrap it, not wrap it. Looks great either way. We just put one wrap on it, see what it looks like. Yeah, let's loosen it up. We didn't tighten this down completely here. You know what I normally recommend. You can see some of these laces are a little loose because this is just a test fit. I like to pull these together nice and tight and really pull on them and work them, you know, to get everything really tight. But this is about 80% of what I would do as far as tightness, tautness. Yeah. So